Use the microphones. I'll send you the audio. Thank you.
Rob, how do you feel this week, and what physical strides or baby steps have you noticed in the last week as you've continued to practice that you've been able to make?
I just feel like I feel good now. I felt good a couple weeks ago, but I definitely feel better today. Coach is really taking the reins on this one and holding me out of a lot of stuff. And, I'm doing everything they're asking me to do right now. I feel like I'm in rhythm out there throwing the ball in the 7-on-7 reps that I do get. And that's all I can do, just continue to prove to them and to the players that I'm ready to play.
Has anything gotten smoother or easier with your timing or anything?
The first day got 7 reps, and, they've ramped up since then. But I feel like I've been consistent with everything, getting to what the defense has given me out there, whether it's a check down, a touchdown throw, or anything in between. I'm taking everything they're giving me, and I think that's really making the coaches happy.
As far as planting your foot, and the eye is easily biased because we see a brace there, so we're looking for something. But you feel like you're consistent with the foot plant now? Is that second nature?
Yeah, I mean, it's not anything that I'm thinking about. I feel like, oh my God. Gotta love Pierre Garçon. But, no, it's nothing that I'm thinking about. I feel like it's consistent. Everything from the timing to the mechanics of everything that I'm doing out there that the coaches are asking me to do, whether it's a plant throw, a hitch throw, a deep throw, a short throw. I feel like I'm in tune with all that, and that the leg's not an issue.
Ask you about the read option. It kind of took the league by storm last year. What are you preparing for as far as defenses having adjusted to it and what you guys need to do to stay ahead?
I mean, anytime something new pops up, teams are going to try to adjust to it, whether it's multiple tight end sets, the read option. Anything you do, teams are going to try to stop it. So we're prepared for that. We still have our normal offense, and we can do a lot of things out of it. So whatever the defense is willing to give us on that day, that's what we're willing to take.
Robert, when you're in the pocket in the 7-on-7, are you trying at all to sometimes simulate throws under duress or anything like that to go through more game-like conditions since you can't get that right now in the 11-on-11?
I don't feel like that's something I'm trying to do in the 7-on-7. Really, I'm just trying to make sure we get completions because completions is the name of the game, moving the ball forward. I'm trying to get as many plant throws as I possibly can. Whatever coach and the defense draws up on that day, that's what I have to go execute, and that's what I feel like we're doing out there.
As you go forward, I know Mike will tell us the plan later, but is there more that you think you could get out of 7-on-7s if you had increased reps there, or are you kind of ready to move on from that point?
Oh, I'm ready to move on. You can only do so much at 7-on-7, so the completion percentage is there. I feel like the rhythm is there with the guys. We're finding the holes in the defense when we have to, and we're throwing the checkdowns when we have to as well. So, coach will tell you something else, but obviously I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to go to the team reps and everything. So I just got to keep doing what coach asked me to do.
Robert, this city's done a lot to embrace the team being here. There's 3 restaurants that have sandwiches named after you. What do you think about all of that hoopla?
It's pretty cool. You got to go try those sandwiches out maybe. Hopefully I don't die of a heart attack. It's really special. The team played so well last year, and the Redskins fans are just so hungry for success, and we are too as players. So we want to give them that. We're glad they're excited about it, and we're glad that they're treating us so well here in Richmond.
Pun intended, right? Hungry. If not to put you on the spot, if you made an RG3 sandwich, what would be in it?
Me? I don't know. Subway can tell you that one. Thank you. You set me up perfectly.
Hey, Robert, on your right, when you're looking at the tape of 7-on-7s, what do you think of your lower half, some of the mechanics, the way you're driving the ball, and the consistency you're doing that with? Yeah,
no, I think Coach said it last week. He feels like my arm strength coming into camp has been something that's popping off the charts. I've worked really hard in the offseason, not just on getting my arm stronger, but making sure that my arm was ready for days like this in training camp when you're throwing a whole lot. So I feel like I have been really consistent. When I miss a throw, I come back and I make sure I get that completion, whether it's with another receiver or that same receiver on that same day.
From lower body mechanics?
No, I think your arm strength starts from your lower body and from your core. If you ask any quarterback out there, it starts there. So in order to be able to throw the ball the way I have and some of the quarterbacks have out here, your feet have to be in line and in tune with what you're doing, and I feel like that's where I'm at.
Robert, over here. Some of the scenes we've seen out there have been incredible, and as far as the fans, and you thoroughly embrace it and enjoy it. You smile, you do your victory laps and so forth. And how do you process something like that? And is there a line you have to walk between embracing it and not letting it go to your head?
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line. Whenever you're out there in team drills and stuff like that, you respect the rest of the players that are out there. And we're all on the same team, so you don't play with the crowd during those moments. But, this crowd's out here for us to interact with them. They're here to watch us, but they also want to see us as people and our personalities. So I try to give them that as much as I can. So before practice, after practice, I might do a lap, clap everybody's hand, or just play it up with the crowd. But, when it's time to perform, everybody's focused on the field, and that's what you got to do.
Robert, obviously you're not going to play in the preseason. How difficult do you think that will be? Because we know you want to play, we know what your mentality is, but have you processed that and have you gotten that out of your system that, hey, I'm not going to play and I'm not even worried about it, not even thinking about it, and you can just move on and you're at peace with that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be at peace with it. It's tough. It's harder being out here and not being able to get into the team reps because coach is holding you out. So to be there at the game and watch, I think the thing that I'm going to have to do is just take it as a coaching opportunity for the rest of the QBs. Even though Rex is a vet, it's still my job to go out there and watch and make sure he's seeing everything that's happening on the field just to help those guys be as successful as they can. So that's the way I have to look at it. So I'm not going to really fret too much about the preseason games because the goal is for a long career and to play week one.
Robert, Mike said that your practice plan will change next week when you guys get back from this Tennessee game. What have you been told about your plan going forward?
Hopefully it involves some team reps. I kind of know what the plan is, but it's also up to be changed based on how I feel after this week. So hopefully I can get out there and get with the team, start doing more team-like activities, and just go from there, just get back into tune with everything.
Thinking back to the rehab you had at Baylor, is there anything you remembered from that time that maybe you've put into play during this one that's lessons learned, helped it gone smoother?
No, I mean, I was doing a whole lot more at this time after my recovery at Baylor. So, obviously with this situation and what we have to deal with here in the DMV and DC, there's a lot of scrutiny. So coach has to also account for that. And in college, you're trying to make it to this level. And in the pros, you're trying to make sure you stay here for a long time. So, whether, you can say whatever you want about what he's doing. I can feel any kind of way about it. But at the end of the day, we all have to be on the same page, and that's what I'm trying to do. Just do everything the coaches asked me to do, show them that my rhythm and timing is there, show them that I can play. And then at the end of the day, they have to come through for me and play me week one if I do everything they asked me to do.
Hey, Robert, can you give an example of team bonding that you've gotten here in Richmond that you maybe didn't get in Ashburn last year? And part is, has Shark Week started yesterday? Have you noticed that as a distraction in any way?
No distraction with Shark Week, but I think some of the guys do enjoy watching it, watching Shark Week. I, for one, I was a Deep Blue Sea kid. Jaws, I saw that stuff when I was growing up, so I try to stay away from the water. I watch it every now and then too, but I don't think it's a distraction. And then team bonding wise, we're around each other a lot. There's 90 guys. Eventually it'll be 53. And when they cut the team down, it makes the tie even stronger. But I feel like being here in Richmond, not that guys go out and party at all because, we're in the NFL, we don't party at all. So guys go out, they get to be together, do those kind of things, go to dinner. Being away from your families, you kind of have to bond with your teammates unless you're a loner and just sit in your room all day. So that's what it forces you to hang out. It forces you to create those bonds and try to meet somebody new and learn a little bit about them every day.
Robert, when we saw you during minicamp, you said that you'd cried when you woke up from surgery and you found out about the ACL and everything, and you'd made a promise to be back by the time training camp started. Now that it's become a reality, what is it like for you to know that everything you said you were going to do, you've done, and what was the hardest part during that journey?
Oh, man, yeah, I don't know what they're screaming at, but it was truly a blessing to go to Dr. Andrews and pass all those tests and just come back knowing that I did everything I said I was going to do, that I was a man of my word. And, it might not have turned out that way. There could have been setbacks along the way, but God helped me to fight through all the pain and make sure I got to those games that I needed to get to. So it's a blessing to be out here and be here for the fans, be here for my team. The hardest part along the whole thing was just knowing that everyone was going to doubt me, knowing that everyone was going to try to hold me back. But at the end of the day, I had to look at it as, if I don't believe in myself, no one will. And I know my teammates believe in me as a player, and they want me to be out there healthy, so that's what I'm trying to do for them.
Robert, will you make the trip to Tennessee with the team?
Yeah.
Okay, what are some things that you'll be, I don't know if you're going to stay back here in rehab or not. But
oh, no.
What are some things that you'll be looking for and telling them, and how will your role kind of turn into almost as an extra coach out there?
Basically just go through the game plan with everybody. You got to get back into that kind of mode as well. You don't game plan as much for the preseason games, but there's a little bit of a game plan. So you go through that, try to make sure they're on all their keys and everything, and then, maybe Kyle let me call a quarter or something. I don't know.
Robert. Robert, everybody has a different opinion of preseason games. What's your opinion specifically, and how ready is this team to see different colors on Thursday night?
Oh, I think the first preseason game is exciting, even though the starters don't play that much. You just get excited to play against somebody else, and I know defensive linemen get excited to hit the quarterback, so I feel for all the quarterbacks in the preseason. But, my opinion is it is valuable. I think the preseason is valuable, but at the same time, if you don't need to be in the preseason, you don't have to do it. And that's my situation. Everybody has a different situation. And then the last time I checked, there's been some guys that had some pretty good seasons, some teams that had some pretty good seasons when their quarterback didn't play in the preseason.
Your arm strength that year you missed at Baylor, how much did you notice that changed things from what you guys wanted to do that year when you came back, just being able to throw the ball?
Just being able to throw the ball, talking about being at Baylor as well?
Just having a greater arm strength.
I don't know if it's a greater arm strength. I just know, when your legs are taken away from you, you have to rely on your arm. And that's something that I learned from at Baylor. And we came back the next year, threw the ball a lot more. And, maybe that's something that's in the future for us here in Washington. Maybe because of the injury, maybe we'll sit back there and throw the ball a little bit more. But, that's all up to the defense, what they want to give us. You don't want to isolate yourself and say, hey, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. But at the same time, there's going to be a target on my back, the injury that I had. I know that. Everyone knows that. But you still got to go out there and try to win football games, and you just want to be able to do it in multiple ways, and I think we can.
We're going to take a few more. Right here.
Robert, the depth chart was released today. Do you look at that as a formality, or are you looking at first string, second string, third string and thinking, hey, this guy is on the bubble, or this guy's going to make the team, or before the preseason game to think about security for